Hello, this is Thomas Van Ball from MOBI3002 Assignment 6 SQLite Saving Data. Change your Dungeons & Dragons application to use persistent storage. I started a new one as I didn't do a Dungeons & Dragons assignment last time. I did an items assignment. You can continue with your D&D characters via your old fragments. Determine what fields you wish to save for each character. Leave 5 text fields, text or otherwise. So if on the IDE here, you can see my character. We have ID, attack level, defense level, how many times it's been accessed, name, race, and description. At least one field is access count, which increments and is saved in the database each time a D&D character's access that fragment is selected. So that's what this ACC value is for. In the item list activity on the on click on the fragments here, it will increment every time a character is clicked. It will call this increment item ACC from this SQLite helper, which I created. This SQLite helper is a SQLite helper class for the database that I created from the Android website. At least that's where the tutorial was. This one's version 1. Part 2 will be version 2. The database name is test database. Table name is items. I just didn't change it to characters. On the onCreate method, just creates a table with all the correct columns. The onUpgrade method isn't really used in this version, but if it was, it would just drop the table and create a new one. The add item method, I just wanted an easy way to add characters into the application when I started, so I just created an activity to do so from the master detail, the little button in the bottom right hand corner. I just made that an add character button, and I didn't rename this method, obviously. The read items is just to grab all the characters from the database and return them in an array list. And then the increment item ACC is to actually increment the access count of the character in the database, and that's what's called from the item activity, the item list activity here. And we can see that in action if I run it on the emulator here. And if we just click one of these guys, you see it's access 18 times, go back, access 19 times, 20 times, 21 times, and so on. You need not allow new entry. Sorry, your app need not allow entry of a new record. Mine does, however. This little button down here, you just click it and add something if you'd like. And there you go. Got yourself a new item there. Implement your database using the SQLite database. Yes, that is what it uses. If you use the SQLite helper here, you can see that it does in fact use SQLite and the SQLite database. Show that changes to the database are reflected when running the app. Need to update the database offline, but access count increments internally. Okay, I think what you're saying is to like check the files. So let's see here. We'll synchronize that. I'll save that guy to the desktop. Open up the terminal here. Oh my goodness. There we go. We can just oops. And we can see all the values in there. And we can see that they match up. So hopefully that's what you're asking. Show testing. Unload the database from your platform onto your desktop. Show the database files. Okay. And that's kind of what we did there. We just did it through the command line. Explore the database. Yep. Just did all that. Alright, part 2, the database migration. So this has all been part 1. If I have a second ID open here. And this guy is basically getting ready to migrate that item over to do. We open up our SQL helper here. So we are moving our database over to version 2. Which is adding a date time. And so it's altering the table and adding the column date time with a default of January 1st, 2020. And if we look over at the assignment, deploy part 1 on Android emulator, yep. Make copy of part 1, work on part 2, don't destroy your previous work, yep. Add a date time field to your database, last accessed, yep. Provide default date of January 1st, 2020. That's what this is. And this onUpgrade method will only be called if the installed application's database version is 1 and is going. So if the installed version is less than or equal to 1, as this one is 2. And sorry. Add a date time. Yep. When a D&D character is accessed, set the last access time to the current time. And that's what this guy does. Oh, well, I guess we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So this is the migration here. So if we just press play on this guy, it should migrate everything over flawlessly. And we should actually... Let's just throw a log in here. And we'll just close that guy and we'll stop that application and we'll run the upgrade. And we can see that we got our migration. And so if we open one of these guys here, we can now see that we have an access time. If we go back to the assignment, show that the new field is reflected in the running application. So yep, the access time here, and you can see that it updates local grawl 8:15:22, grawl 8:15:26, grawl 8:15:29. 8:15:35. And if we want to, we can go again into the terminal. Hopefully a little bit faster this time. A6 SQLite 3. Oh, I gotta download it first, my bad. Data. Seca. MOBI app 2. Databases. Going to synchronize it first and then save it to here. Override it. Test.db and select all from items. And we can see that we have our dates. Some of them are the default date, and then some of them have times. So if we go back to our SQLite helper here, we can see that the increment item ACC has been updated for this part 2, in that it adds the date and time to the equation, and also prints it out to the logcat as well. So if we look there, you can see that it's been printed out nicely. And let's just go back to here. So you want to see code, Android emulator, and the logcat output. Unload to desktop. Perfect. Alright, so that's been Assignment 6, SQLite from MOBI3002 by Thomas Van Bommel. Thanks for watching.